Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let me show you how to require your passcode when accessing specific apps on your iPhone or iPad. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. Now your iPhone is always protected by your passcode and Face ID and Touch ID. So if your iPhone is locked, somebody can't access it without your passcode. But let's say your iPhone is unlocked. Maybe you're using it and somebody grabs it from you. Or maybe you give it to somebody so they can look at, say, photos in the Photos app. Or maybe so a child can play a game on your phone. You just want to prevent them from actually getting into another app, like say the Messages app to send a message or a social media app to see what's there. Currently there's no way to lock down just any app on your iPhone by requiring your passcode, Touch ID, or Face ID. But with iOS 16.4 you can actually create something in Shortcuts that will kind of do that for you. It's not ultra secure, but it will work in most cases. So as an example, let's prevent access to the Calculator app. Normally this will be something else like Messages or Facebook or the Camera app or something like that. I'm going to go into Shortcuts here. And then on the main screen of Shortcuts at the bottom I can tap on Automations. And I'm going to create a personal automation. Now a personal automation can be triggered by a number of factors. One of those factors is App. If you select that you can have an automation triggered by when an app is opened. So let's go and choose the app. In this case I'm going to choose Calculator as the example. And then tap Done. So now this will launch this automation when the Calculator app is opened. I'm going to tap Next here and now I have to add actions. So I'll tap Add Action. Then I'm going to search for Lock and look for Lock Screen. If you don't see Lock Screen then you may need to update your iPhone to iOS 16.4 in order to get it. So let's choose Lock Screen and that's it. I'm just going to tap Next here and the only thing that this automation is going to do is lock the screen when Calculator is opened. Now the next thing I want to do is turn off Ask Before Running and confirm. And now it won't ask and it won't notify. It'll just run this. When the Calculator is opened it will lock the screen. I'm going to tap Done and then I'm going to return to the home screen. And now let's give it a try. I'm going to launch Calculator and you can see how Calculator launches but it immediately locks the home screen. Now since it's my iPhone it's not really a problem for me because I would just use Face ID and it would unlock. Chances are I'm already staring at the screen. But now I have to slide up to exit the lock screen and you can see I'm in the Calculator app. So now I can use the Calculator app as normal. And it's the same thing if say for Messages or Instagram or whatever. It's just going to give me an extra step as it does Face ID and I swipe up in order to get into the app. But somebody else, of course, Face ID wouldn't work, Touch ID wouldn't work. It would prompt them for the passcode and they wouldn't know it. So they wouldn't be able to get into that app. Matter of fact, from that point on they couldn't do anything with your iPhone. They've locked themselves out. So to be clear, if somebody knows your passcode, this doesn't protect you from anything. They could still get into everything on your iPhone. The passcode is still the key to it all. This only protects you if somebody has your iPhone, it's already unlocked, and now they try to access an app you don't want them to, and it locks them out, and since they don't know the passcode, they can't go any further. So say somebody grabs your iPhone while you're using it, it's unlocked, and then they try to say access your messages. If you have this set up for the Messages app, then it would just lock them out as soon as they went to the Messages app. If you give it to say a child to play a game and they decide to be sneaky and then go over to one of your social media apps, as soon as they do that, if this is set for that app, it will lock them out and they'll have to come to you to unlock it since they don't have the passcode. And it's actually not even completely foolproof if they don't know the passcode. There is a way to be able to switch this off if they know it's there. So if somebody knows that you've got this set up, so if they go to say the Messages app, it's going to lock them out, they could turn it off before they go to the Messages app. But the whole idea here is they don't know that you've got this. There's no reason for them to suspect you've set things up this way. So when they try to go to the app, it locks them out and they can't do anything at all. Now a better way to do this would be for Apple to add something in Settings where you can go through your list of apps and switch on Require Passcode for any app that you want. Now let's look at some variations on this. Because while this isn't that hard for you to get access to the apps, it still just require one or two extra steps to get into them. But you can modify this shortcut here by going into it and then adding something else to the actual actions. So I'm going to go into Do here to modify this. And all it's going to do here is lock the screen. However, I can also go and look for Network. And I can choose Get Network Details. And one of the things you can choose is network name. You can see that's the default. Then I can also choose If. And I can set up an if statement in here and say if the network details, which in this case are the name, and then in the condition part here do is not. And then in text add the name of your Wi-Fi network. So whatever that's called. It's got to be exact though. And then move lock screen in there. So if the network name is not this, then it will lock the screen. So that way when you're at home it won't actually bother you with the extra steps. Only when you're away using a mobile network or using somebody else's Wi-Fi will it actually lock you when you go to specific apps. Now back up at this level here you can also define which apps as multiple apps. So instead of when Calculator is open you can tap here, go back in and actually choose multiple apps here. So you can choose a ton of different apps, all your social media apps, your camera app, whatever it is you want to have this extra little layer of protection on into here, and then it will show 3 apps there. Now you can also set this up for when an app is closed. So let's go and change from the Calculator app to say the Photos app. Like for instance, assume that a lot of times you go and hand your phone to somebody to show them some photos. So now it's set to Photos instead of Calculator. And let's set it up to Is Closed. So now when you close the Photos app it will do this. So you can go to the Photos app no problem. Let somebody else take a look at your photos. And if they try to go to the home screen or switch to another app, then your phone locks. Now if you want to get rid of this, all you need to do is go back into Shortcuts, go to Automations, and if you swipe from right to left you can see there's a delete button that gets revealed there. But you could also just have this available. Go into it and you could see Enable this automation at the top. So if you want to use this for a little while and then get rid of it, you can just disable it and then it's ready to be turned on again if you want it back. So this is a handy technique to know. It's not going to be something that protects you. If they've somehow gotten your passcode, this won't stop them from anything. But it is handy to have this if you find that you often hand your iPhone to friends and family and you just want to make sure they don't get into other apps and mess around. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.